pick up stitches around a neckband or along the front of a cardigan, I first measure 10 centimetre gaps and mark with pins. That way I can make sure that the stitches are picked up evenly all the way around the neckband. So within each 10 centimetre gap I will pick up the same number of stitches. As you can see on this cardigan, it works out fairly well. Here is a little swatch I've made to mimic the front of a cardigan. It has a little ribbed section at the bottom, a straight edge, and then a little bit of a curved section. I've marked off two 10 centimetre gaps and I will pick up the same number of stitches within these sections. Ribbing is usually used around the edge of neckbands. This is because it is quite stretchy and it will stretch to the curves and the straight bits around the neckband. When starting to pick up stitches, make sure you identify a place right at the bottom of your work. Insert your needle and wrap the yarn around it as if to make a knit stitch. Then evenly pick up the number of stitches required within your 10 centimetre gap. You can break down the 10 centimetres further by halving the distance or making the distance into quarters. Insert your needle into the work, yarn around and pull through. Here I am working right into the edge of my work. I am using thick chunky wool here, so I'm picking up stitches right at the edge because I don't want there to be a thick ridge behind where I'm picking up the stitches. If you are using thinner wool, I would insert my needle one stitch in from the edge and create my pickup stitches there. This will help to prevent any holes. I have picked up 10 stitches in the first section, so I will carry on and pick up a further 10 stitches to the end. To insert buttonholes, mark the positions of the buttonholes with pins. Work in pattern until you reach your first marker. When you reach your marker, work 2 more stitches. Pass the first stitch over the second stitch. This will cast off 1 stitch for your buttonhole. Continue to work until the next marker and repeat the cast off for each buttonhole down the front of your cardigan. On the next row, continue working until you reach your buttonhole. When you have reached the buttonhole, simply use whichever preferred method you use. I'm using the thumb cast on method here to cast on one stitch. Then continue in pattern until you get to the next buttonhole and repeat casting on one stitch. Here you can see the buttonholes that have been made. It is important not to make these holes too big, else you will have to buy giant buttons. The hole should stretch around the button to stop the cardigan from coming undone. As you can see here, this is the finished neckband. The stitches are evenly picked up along the edge of the cardigan and the two buttonholes are evenly spaced.